This is John Bullard, owner of Fantastic League of Wrestling, and I am drinking at Moe's.
This is Drinkin at Demos, where we talk about the pros of pro wrestling in the Midwest while sipping on some brews with blessed beers and wrestling. That's my scene. Death matches and lucha libre, it's also mean. I'm a straight up smart goofball, not no kiss ass. I stand tall when it comes to wrestling. I'm the king. I know every move, every fling. Get ready for a wild time with Drinkin at Moe's, where we don't quit. Drinkin at Moe's, that's where it's at, like a power bomb. We hit hard, never flat. Fucking right, we're living the dream. Talking about wrestling, always a scream.
You know, I've always said here at Drinkinatmos, just because it says drinking at Moe's does not mean it has to be alcoholic. So I'm happy to say Drinking at Moe's is sponsored by Prince Nana Coffee. The, the exact same guy you see every week on Dynamite, on Collision. Yes, he has his own coffee and it's freaking delicious. They don't even roast those beans until you've placed your order. And you might be telling me, hey, Big Mo, I'm more of a tea guy. They got you covered there too. Use the referral link in the description of this video. And let's get you dancing like Prince Nana with Prince Nana Coffee. All right, everybody, welcome Drinking at Moe's. Big Mo here. You know the drill. YouTube, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff on the YouTube channel, if you will. YouTube's algorithm continues to be a pain in the butt. We are most places you find the audio podcast too. Today, I'm excited to welcome back John Bullard, Fantastic League of Wrestling. Gonna do a little bit of a mid-season recap. This season of Fantastic League of Wrestling is in full swing. Lots of great stuff that's happened and a lot of great stuff coming up.
Indeed, it is.
Yeah, I know. First off, I love talking about it because I've talked about it to a bunch of the rosters so far. Is a bunch of the international stars that have come in so far. I mean, there's the obvious of I guess the now two-time Supernova champion British sensation Tommy Gunn went down to Mexico, defended it, making it a true world title in the process. And now he's back in there. I believe I just saw the most recent match of his coming up is now a triple threat match.
Indeed, it's coming up this Saturday at
This
Indiana
Saturday.
Beach. It's going to be him, Tommy Gunn, the reigning defending Flow World Supernova Champion, defending that belt against U.S. wrestler and, one of my opinion, one of the great hidden gems of professional wrestling, hard to kill Dylan Derringer. And also included in that match is Taiwanese star Marihana from Puzzle and Big Japan Pro Wrestling.
I was just seeing that. Like, I know Puzzle, one of the Fantastic League of Wrestling's foreign partners,
Indeed.
doing lots of great things. I see they got some, a big show coming up that you and fellow Flow member, one of the commentators, Peapod, doing commentary, English commentary for them. That's pretty awesome.
We do. We do English commentary for their YouTube channel and also for Club Puzzle, which is their subscription. For those who want to subscribe to Club Puzzle, it's only $7.99 a month. You get all the shows all the way back from the beginning to some of the special events or bar events, night events that they have. It's an honor to provide English commentary for Puzzle. It's kind of cool to think that myself and Peapod, aka CJ Owen, is what he's going by now. We're kind of the voices of Taiwanese wrestling.
That is kind of crazy thinking about that. now that you guys are getting to do that, that's pretty awesome. We're very happy for you guys. And yeah, I'm looking forward to catching a bunch of their action. Now, you guys also have another foreign partner over in Japan, FTO, which
Yes.
I I actually just released the Aaron Daniel Norman episode today, actually, as of this recording, and he's getting ready to go over there for them. I believe those effing guys going over there too. And funny thing with their episode, I about let an F bomb slip when I first was getting into the episode. I'm like, and welcome those. Um, whoops.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, that's why we shortened it up to TFG. I'm like, we'll run with that.
Yeah. TFG and also Paragon, another
Oh yeah,
Flow member. So four members of Flow going over to Japan at once to represent Flow with our partners at FTO, ran by Skull Reaper Aji, who is a Mask City Council member slash wrestler slash owner of the company. So it's really cool promotion. I love FTO. They've been a tremendous partner to us. Of course, beforehand, Zach Abstract and Gran Torino wrestled for them, and now it's four more members coming up. That's literally six roster members in 1 year going to Japan.
that
That
is.
has to be a record for any Midwest promotion.
I was gonna
Um,
say,
but also Tommy Gunn, talking about another
mm,
member as well. Tommy Gunn went over to Strong Classic Wrestling, our partners in Mexico.
oh yeah, definitely. That's where he defended the
Supernova Championship.
Supernova Championship, and well, he had me a little worried there for a second. That first match, that first defense, but then he got it back. So he's back in the States now. But sounded like he had a pretty dang good time there.
He did. Not only did he wrestle a main event twice for Strong Classic Wrestling, he also got to main event Arena Lopez Mateos, actually, I'm sorry, Arena Lopez Mateos, which is one of the most legendary arenas in all of Mexico City. It's been around for over 60 years. And he got to main event that one of the only few gringo foreigners to actually have the chance to be a main eventer at Arena Lopez Mateos. And we're going to be doing a lot of work also coming up with AULL, which is the home promotion at Arena Lopez.
Mm,
So when I say arena, I'm not talking about like a bingo hall. I'm talking about like a
yeah,
legit
well, like
wrestling
legit
arena.
arena. Yeah.
So we're making a lot of big moves, and more partnerships are on the way, and a lot of things we're creating. And it's been a wild year. I mean, for this promotion coming up, I mean, we have Tommy Gunn, of course, the United Kingdom, who's our champion. And then, we've had, of course, Alan Golden from SCW from Mexico that came up. Of course, Roberto has won championship gold in Mexico for SCW.
Oh yeah.
We've also had Dragon Gate member La Estrella come wrestle. Now Mariana and amongst of others, talent has come over to wrestle for our promotion. It's one of those things I tell guys all the time. Is like, I wonder if the fans kind of sit back and think like how cool it is that like just a matchup that they'll see it'd be like a talent from Mexico taking on a talent from Canada taking on a talent from UK versus a talent from Taiwan, for example. Like that's not something you see every single day.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's definitely not something you see every day on. Not to downplay Midwest independence or well any independent
Or really
wrestling
independent wrestling in
period.
general. Really,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's something that you don't really see every day.
No.
That much of a foreign impact on the card, which I mean, it's a great thing because the talent that you have, you know, here that here in the states that are getting to be on the show are getting that exposure with those foreign talents, and therefore good words might get passed along to their home promotions, and then they're getting those chances that they might not have gotten otherwise off of that.
Yeah. I mean, like Mariana, for example, just in 2 weeks has wrestled now. He's going to be wrestling for Flow twice since he's here in the United States. So, and he loves it. He made a Twitter post, or X account post, or the website wants to be called nowadays.
Yeah,
But he was talking about like how much he felt at home being with
that's
us,
awesome.
and that's exactly what, it's kind of like one of the goals of Flow too, is that, as we bring in international talents, we want them to feel at home. We want this to be like their home away from home,
Yeah.
and to give fans the opportunities to see international talent that they may not ever see anywhere else. And for I always think about the growing up as a small town Americana kid, how cool it is to say, like, when I was a kid, to have the chance to say I've seen talent from all around the world come to my little town.
Yeah.
Like, not something you see every day. I like to give that to those kids too, because I think all the time, like, how cool it is for a kid who probably never met a Japanese person to finally watch a wrestler from Japan or a wrestler from Mexico, and understand and see the beautiful art of lucha libre
Oh
be
yeah.
done tremendously well in front of them.
Oh yeah. I mentioned it to you before. I kind of got spoiled when it comes to lucha libre. Having been stationed in San Diego, and
Oh
that being
yeah, that
that being
Tijuana border,
oh
man, come on, that's one of the meccas of lucha.
oh yeah, and having that be my start to watching independent wrestling and one of the
Yeah,
meccas of lucha libre culture is just yeah. I got spoiled. I'll
yeah.
just go ahead and admit it. But one thing that did want to talk about is some of the great shows you've had like all over. Like one that really jumps out because out of all the roster that I've had on so far, and I've got more lined up, one show that everybody seems to talk about in such high regard is the Chicago Special Olympics show.
Absolutely.
Every I have not had one person on that has not talked about that show in such high regard. Like everybody loved it, getting to perform for everybody there and getting to see everybody there in the crowd having such a good time and feeling so into everything. I love it. I love seeing stuff for good causes like that going on.
I felt like, in a way, that event was kind of our coming out party as a company. I felt like the real true spirit of what Flow was about was on that morning. Everything came together. I think the roster finally saw, like, this is what we are. This is who we are. And let's go out there and give these tremendously amazing fans a show that they will forever remember. And it seems like not just the fans remember, but it also has stuck with the roster.
Oh yeah, I can verify that. Like I
Yeah.
said, I've had a good handful of the roster on so far. More to come. Everybody, I kid you not, everybody talks about that show with such great memories. I'm like, man, I kind of wish I would have been there.
Yeah. I tell you, every year we do the special rec show for the Chicago Hope Academy. And to me, it's the most fulfilling thing I could possibly do in my entire career in professional wrestling. That's not just as John Bullard, the promoter or entrepreneur or commentator or former wrestler, as a human being. It is the most fulfilling thing I could ever remember. When Flow first really truly came to be, it was actually at the Special Rec show back in 2024. And at the time, it was just known as John Bullard Promotions. And that's where myself and Sean Porter, the other part of the brain trust of Flow, when Sean kind of gave me the name. He's like, I sat there in my friend's basement and came up with this idea of a promotion called Fantastic League of Wrestling, and this fits the mold of what my idea would be. And then we did another show as a John Bullard promotion show because it was at the time just a traveling attraction show. And it dawned on me, he's like, I don't really want to name a company after myself. I only did it because tax reason just made easy sense. It's called this. John Bullard Promotions presents Championship Wrestling. But then I started thinking, I was like, a brand that people could believe in, could get behind, something that is mother approved, for
Yeah.
families, but also a wrestling fan approved because
Oh yeah.
wrestling's great. Not just it's family friendly, but the wrestling's really good.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I told Sean, I said, Sean, if I have your blessing, I want to make Fantastic League of Wrestling come to life. And from that day forward, Indiana Beach uh, became the first test of the promotion, and since then it's took off, man. And we got the show coming up this Saturday
Hey,
for Indiana Beach once again. It's kind of like our home away from home. Uh,
wow.
but but just a little breaking news. The owner of Indiana Beach contacted me and said, "Hey, what are you doing in September?" And I'm like, "Well, I had a plan in September, but unfortunately it fell through because a mayor of a certain town in Northwest Indiana decided to cancel a Headlock for Hunger show," which I'm like, how do you be a town mayor and not want to take care of the people in need? But that's a different story for a different day. But
Yeah.
the blessings of life, once you put out good karma into the world, sure enough, September 20th, we're back at Indiana Beach.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that I remember first had you on that you told me about that first Indiana Beach show, and I'm like, dude, talk about being able to make a good first impression with a group of people because you know it's often said you only get the one chance to make a good first impression, and then
Yeah.
you give a guy you wow, words are hard. You give people a good show, and then they're just going to be talking to themselves. Man, I got to make it next time these guys come, but this next time I want to show other people this because this was just too much fun. And definitely sounds like you guys for those Indiana Beach shows had definitely hit the nail right on that because I remember the two roller coasters are better than one show.
Yes.
When I saw the visual of the crowd, the doors open, the crowd starts coming in, I'm like, oh dang,
Yeah.
that like that was something. That was an impressive visual. Like kudos to whoever had it to to get that because that was something.
That was me actually.
Well, hey, that was something. That wow. Because
It's one of the things I've been doing lately is for marketing, which is for all of our events, to film the crowd that we get and to take pictures and everything. Of course, we just recently just did a show for the Summit City Carnival
oh
for
yeah.
in Fort Wayne. I had a really great crowd. The show was early, so like I felt like if we had the show a little later, we've had like 10 times the crowd. Even though the crowd we had was packed for what it
Oh
was.
yeah. Like the crowd was, it was an impressive crowd. They definitely a little earlier in the day, like you mentioned, the daylight still showing. But yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell that that crowd wasn't having a damn good time with what they were seeing because that's one thing I definitely noticed with every show that I've been able to watch for Fantastic League of Wrestling is the crowds. You can always sense that the crowds are just having a damn great time.
Yeah, and that's our goal. I mean, sometimes at like Indiana Beach, sometimes the crowds will leave here and there. That's just because our shows at that time was were running late, not because we're holding off on the show, but just because the park closes at a time that some fans have to leave.
Yeah.
So what we did was I didn't want the fans to miss out on the show, and I don't want our talents to wrestle in front of a crowd that has to go because not because the wrestling is good or bad, but because the park's about to close. So the park gave me the blessing to roll the show earlier so that way everyone could actually watch the show, not have to worry about have to leave to get home early, but to actually be there on time and get the chance to watch an amazing event. And the show we got coming up this Saturday, I mean, every match is really good. I mean, of course, we're talking about Tommy versus
Hmm.
Dylan Derringer versus Mariana from
It's
Puzzle,
gonna
but we
be.
also have Tegan Thorne taking on the pillar, one of the other pillars of Flow, Stella Buho,
Ah,
who is a tremendous, the little owl girl that could
I
is
actually,
one of my favorites.
I mean, unless something changes, I actually just scheduled with her. Like, it's not until next month, but I just scheduled it with her like a few days ago.
Yeah,
I'm, I'm, I'm
she's a
excited about that.
phenomenal wrestler, but also a phenomenal human being.
Oh
I
yeah,
will I will forever ever sing praises of her as a person, but also as a talent.
that
She's
is.
bona fide, genuine, good human being, and that's hard to come by. And
Oh
she's
yeah.
legit.
Oh,
She's a
that.
legit hell of a good talent. She can wrestle guys. She can wrestle girls. She's really good. Don't let her be in pint size and small fool you. I seen her spear Jay Leo, those effing guys, out of his boots. She hit him with
Uh,
a spear, man. I don't know if I ever showed you the spear that she hit him with, dude. Wow, like Goldberg would have been like,
yeah.
yo, good spear.
Oh, that that is something. And yeah, that's one thing I've noticed with a lot of the talent that you've had on the shows is they all they all just seem like genuinely just great people, like just
Yeah.
in general. Which
Well,
it's awesome when you're able to gather even just a portion of a roster being able to be like that. But so far, legit, every person that I've had on
it's
has
good people.
just been top notch people. Like I remember, oh, Birdo and Hippo. That was a fun one.
I will always say, and I said this to Berto before, how ECW had Terry Funk. Flo has Berto.
Yep. Oh man, that was a fun one. Like I remember when I had my my categories, my name, game, and random. I even I even gotta ask uh, Hippo a couple questions, and that was fun. I I had a lot of great times with that one, and much thanks to you for helping get Tommy Gunn on. That was fun getting a little bit of international flavor in there.
Of
I
course.
I've been blessed to have people that have gone over to Canada, Mexico, Japan, but to have somebody that's literally where they're from and they just happen to be over here and
Yeah.
getting to build that connection, that was something awesome.
And Tommy is a gentleman's gentleman, just
Oh,
a
totally.
tremendous human being. And I tell people all the time, he's not just a champion of Fantastic League of Wrestling, but he's a true goodwill ambassador
For
for
sure.
everything he has done so far for the company, the social media appearances, him traveling to Mexico to work for our affiliates down there, and the way that, and I tell you, he left a great impact on the people in Mexico when he posted a photo and one of the fans in Mexico said, "You're one of us, Tommy.
Wow.
You're one of us." And
That is,
and and I'm telling you, and this is God honest truth, for a gringo, for a foreigner to come to Mexico, the fans generally love international talent, but very few of them ever see them as one of theirs.
yeah.
You're an outsider wrestling one of ours.
Yeah.
But for the people in Mexico, it took to them so much. They were the just he said it best when he won the belt back from Renee Rocks and Toro Machine. He said that there were people in the crowd that were crying. There were people in the crowd cheering. There were people were bona fide happy to see him win his belt back. And I told Tommy, I was like, I'm telling you, you don't see that often in Mexico where a foreign talent beats a Mexican talent and they're happy for the foreign talent winning. I said,
I was
so that
just,
speaks volumes of
oh yeah,
how over you are with that crowd.
oh
That
yeah,
they were celebrating your win
oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. No, it definitely, you know, and there's definitely markets out there where, Mexico, Puerto Rico, I know is another one where, yeah, they
Well, the
might
whole history
love,
of Puerto Rico has always been invaders versus the islanders.
yeah,
Always, always. I mean, that's how Carlos Colon made his money.
oh
You know,
yeah,
give the Bruiser Brody, the Stan Hansens, the Abdullah the Butchers. They came into the island to attack the natives, and so it was
hmm,
the championship caliber talent they had in Puerto Rico that fought the foreigners out of the island, and
oh yeah,
it's and the thing is, it's a formula that wins everywhere you go. It's
oh yeah,
it's done in Japan. It's done. Hell, it's actually, let's be honest, it's done in America. I mean, how many times have you seen 1980s the evil Russian menace
yeah,
versus the I
yeah,
mean Magnum TA and Nikita Koloff, baby.
oh
I
yeah,
mean that right there is the same thing like Carlos versus
yeah,
Abdullah. It's the
and,
same mentality, same
oh,
format.
oh,
The
for
guys
sure,
coming in here to cause havoc. We got to fight for what's right, and
oh yeah,
it works.
and one that jumped out to me that kind of fit right along in there with foreigners and coming into a territory. You mentioned Japan. I remember when the Bullet Club first started. That was the thing. They were the foreign guys coming
Bunch of
into
gaijins.
Japan,
Yep.
and man, they ran with that. I mean, it's not what it used to be, but it's still hell, it's still going.
So it's relevancy. Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's exciting to see what's coming up. I think also something that we do differently at Flow, compared to a lot of promotions. We don't really book our international talent as a evil foreign menace.
That yeah, because that is kind of the I hate using the term stereotype, but that is a stereotype that ends up being done.
And I never wanted that. I never want a kid to be afraid of someone from another world, another country. Grew up in small town America. I grew up around, I hate to say it, I grew up around bigotry. I grew up around people being afraid. And it is part of small town Americana. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. When someone doesn't look like you, most people are afraid of it. And growing up, my favorite wrestlers were always the guys who were foreign, like Jushin Liger, Japanese, one of my heroes. Grew up watching and loving Lucha Libre. And I never wanted, when I started promoting in 2012, I never wanted to book someone because of their nationality, their race, their religion, to be the bad guy. If they happen to choose to be the villain, so be it. But it shouldn't
yeah,
be where they're from or what they look like because of
yeah,
that. It should
yeah,
be just because they're dastardly, you know.
yeah. No, that definitely. I like the thought behind that because yeah, it's one thing if that's just the that's just the way their character is. That their in ring persona is just built as the bad guy, but to not have it be that ooh evil foreign guy coming in, definitely a good thing, especially when you're trying to build those impressions for the kids because much like you, I grew up about an hour south of where I live right now, but it was yeah, definitely not much of a mix
Yeah.
in town. It wasn't really until I got to the Navy where I started getting that mix, and then it was just like, oh, you're just one of the buds. So
Yeah. It's and that's how I wanted my shows to be. I want it to be where no one isn't treated or felt like an outsider. I wanted everyone to feel like they're part of a family, you
mm,
know. And it means a lot when, as a promoter, when I have talent come up to me and say like, "Thank you for making this place a welcoming place for someone who looks different or someone who's maybe in the LGBT community that right now in the world and definitely in America, it's a scary place." for a
Yeah,
lot of people.
definitely
And for
can be.
them to come to me and have tears in their eyes saying, thank you for allowing me to be myself and not be afraid of my life, or thank you for booking good people that don't make this locker room atmosphere feel like I have to watch my back, but I have
Yeah,
people who watch my back for me, you
yeah.
know, and that's the vibe that I wanted for Flow. I handpick everybody who works for us. There's not one of those, oh yeah, we need a spot open. Yeah, we'll book that guy. It's like, no, I do an interview literally with everybody who comes work for me. Myself, Sean Porter, and Scott all will talk about the talents who hit us up and go, what's your guys' opinion on them? What's your personal experience? Because anybody be the world's greatest wrestler, but they could be the worst human being.
Oh yeah,
And I would rather have a solid, good talent, but an amazing human being than I would an amazing wrestling talent and not such a good human being.
yeah. I've I've had the unfortunate incident of running into a few of the other type.
We all do.
Yeah, we all do, but I've been fortunate enough, you know, outside of Flow and even with Flow, that I just had, you know, from the part that I get to play in everything, it's just been an amazing experience. That, if you would have talked to me before any of this started,
Yeah.
before the podcast or any of it started, and would have told me, I would have been talking with people from the UK or people that have gone down to Mexico, Japan, or any of that. I would have, you know, pardon my language, but I would have thought you were full of shit.
Yeah.
But now I've got to do all of that. Large thanks to you for that and making a lot of it possible, because, you know, getting to, I've made it a, a habit of any time I have anybody from the roster on, I'm always wearing this during the recording. I'm like, this is kind of snazzy.
No, that looks good on you too. It's meant for you, you know. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I love those. I love how those referee jerseys came out, man.
Oh,
Like,
they came out great.
yeah, the company that does all of our track suits or jerseys and everything, they are so good at what they do. You know, and when I live down too, they're a company out of Thailand, but yet they make things in American size, which I'm like, oh my God. First time I ever heard the company was out of Thailand, I got to be honest, I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh, like, will a 2X actually be a 2X or would that be a small, you know? And sure
Yeah.
enough, when I put on the my jacket, I'm like, oh my God, this is so comfy. Like, it's they knock it out of the ballpark all the time. Yeah, they're
Oh, yeah.
phenomenal.
They've done great. And hell, I be I mean, I don't know if my gut is really showing it, but I I had a little bit of a wake up call when I was on my trip to Colorado that I went on recently, where I figured out the weight that I was actually at. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I'm getting there myself too. I've been seeing pictures of myself. I'm like, man, come on, dude. You could we could beat this weight. We got
Yeah, it,
this.
it was it was a bit of a wake up call for me. So since I've been slimming down a little bit. I think last I when I got back from Colorado, I think I was at like 308, and now I'm down to like 295.
I was gonna say, like in your face, you slim down some, man. You look good. Keep it
I
up. Keep it
that
up, brother.
that's I appreciate that. It's something that it needed to get done, but I'm glad that I'm not like, some people when they have moments like that, it kind of leads them down kind of a bad downward spiral.
And
And
they get
me,
depressed. I mean, it happens.
oh, like hell, it hit me a little bit, but then I just got to going like, yeah, I don't got to go full blown crazy ass diet with it, but
No,
the shirt's even fitting even a little better than it already did.
And the thing is sometimes with dieting, it's just little things like maybe cutting down on soda, for example, or instead of eating fast food every single day, it's like maybe it's once a week. And when you cut out a tremendous amount of sugar and certain carbs, you'd be so mind blown how quick your weight will drop.
Oh yeah, I've been pleased with what I've shown so far. Now, one thing that I've noticed going back to flow is there's a few different avenues where people can go to watch the action.
Yes. So, of course, we have our YouTube channel. Go on YouTube, type up Fantastic League of Wrestling, it'll come up. And we're also on indiewrestling.us, which is our not only can you watch the full shows of Flow, but also if you subscribe to indiewrestling.us, you'll get DVDs of our shows from them. Like back in the days of Smart Mark Video and the companies that made DVDs. Well, indiewrestling.us is doing the same thing. So people who want to have physical copies of Flow in their hand, subscribe to indiewrestling.us. And ran by an amazing group of people that we partnered with, and they have been tremendous to work with. We're also are doing our own TV episodes on New York 48, which you could download the Roku channel called Streaming on a Budget network. And one of the networks they have on there is New York 48.
I'm
So,
definitely gonna be I'm definitely gonna be doing that because I got a Roku TV upstairs, so
yeah.
definitely gonna be doing that.
And of course, New York 48, we're on at 6:30 Eastern time, so it'll be 5:30 Central. As part of their Saturday night wrestling block they have. So it's really cool. We're part of a block with I believe Coastal Championship, the Harley Race WLW promotion is on there, and a few others. So
Hey,
yeah, it's fun. It's a little 30-minute episode that we put up on there every week. Kind of give like a rundown of what's going on with Flow, a featured matchup, some of our highlight reels, some of the talent reels for fans to get to know some of the talent coming in, and also we do a thing where we showcase our international partners too.
hey, that's great because I know I've been lucky enough to get to watch different international promotions, and some people that might be their first taste. So getting to
Absolutely, it
put
is.
another good first impression out there.
Yeah. Of course, also just last night we posted a video about our promotional school that is
Oh yeah.
ran by a Mexican wrestling legend in his own right, Chicago lucha legend as well, Atomico Senior, the School of Atomico in Berwyn, Illinois.
Hmm.
We'll be doing a partnership with him and his promotion All Star Lucha Libre Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 6:30 to 8:30. It only costs $80 a month to get trained
Hey,
by a legit maestro of wrestling with him. We're also got a bunch of guest seminars and special appearances that will be at the school too. One of them we're currently working on is the Master of a Thousand Holds, a gentleman who is a mentor of mine, Lightning Mike Quackenbush.
yeah. He's popped up at quite a few uh, fantastically wrestling shows I've seen, and that's awesome. I love seeing people of a name and a caliber as his getting to pop in and show some new people what they're capable of.
Indeed. And the way that he teaches, the way that he coaches, it's hands down some of the best teachings I've ever seen. And he's made so many of my guys and girls better by being there. And I'm excited for all the future stuff that we got planned with Mike and of course with Atomico Senior and the other great teachers that we are bringing in to all work together. There is so much good wrestling out there,
Mm.
and I love exposing the guys and girls to new ideas, new lessons. One of my kids, kid Lat, when he originally broke in wrestling, he was training at Wrestle League, and he's a smaller stature. And I look at him as like, anybody ever told you should probably be training in lucha libre? And he's like, why is that? And I was like, no offense to trying to wrestle more of a Chicago style, but I was like, for your height and size, you'll benefit tremendously with lucha. And also Mexican wrestling, guys your size are more common. And I was like, let me introduce you to somebody. And I introduced him to Atomico Senior because I'm friends with his sons, Golden Dragon and Atomico Junior. And I was like, let him and his family teach you. 2 years he's been with them now, and man,
Yeah.
that kid's only 19 years old and he's good. He's
Oh,
really good.
I
So,
I
and he
love
always
that.
thinks me every time we meet each other. He's like, every time he sees me, he's like, I can't thank you enough for recommending to train with this man and his family. And they took him in as one of theirs. And of course, now, recently he just had a match. He was part of a 6-man tag getting to wrestle Marihana from Puzzle. And I tell him all the time, it's like, I put you in the ring with some of these guys because it'll make you better. And you being so young and so good already, that's just going to make you more of a killer.
Oh yeah. I love seeing good young talent out there getting to shine like that because it just reminds me of some other good young talent, doing their thing in wrestling. This like, man, if they're already that good, just imagine where they'll be when they start mulling around the idea of retirement. They're just gonna be through the roof.
Yeah, no, it'll be nuts. Indeed.
For sure. All right. Well, that is about all I have for this one. But as always, before we go, where can people find Fantastically Wrestling social media wise? So if they don't already have their eyes on you guys, they can go ahead and get them there.
Well, let me bring up my social media list because there's so many different social media sites. And
Yeah.
I want to make sure I get these bad boys correctly. So it's not
Oh
one of
yeah.
those like, oh,
Anymore. Yeah.
yeah, I forgot this one. You
Yeah.
know, let me see here. There we go for Flow Socials. Of course, you go on YouTube to type in Fantastic League of Wrestling. Also on Instagram, Flow Wrestling. That's FLO Wrestling 24. That's actually our main account. There's two Instagrams with Fantastic League, but Flow 24 is literally our 24-hour Instagram account. Anything new, anything breaking news happens there. Of course, with Facebook, Fantastic League of Wrestling on Facebook. We also have brainbustertees.com as our merchandise store, which you can order all the Flow merchandise. And that's not just t-shirts, that's hats, beanies, fanny packs, jogging pants, sweatshirts, everything you need. We have that as well. And also we are on X, also known as Twitter, to those of us who will not bend at the knee for that. And that account, for those who are wanting, is Flow Wrestling 24 at Twitter X.
Whatever
And
you want to call it.
yeah, wherever they want to call it for that week. So that's our main social media accounts. Message us if you have any questions. The wonderful thing that we like to do is respond to our fans, respond to talent, and build this community up more and more every day. It's something that we all enjoy, and it's something that we're trying to make wrestling a beautiful home for everyone.
And you guys have done a great job of that so far. I know I've been a proud, even the small part that I've been a part of. I've been proud to be a part of it.
We're proud to have you a part of the family. Like seriously, I mean, every one of my guys and girls, every time they talk with you, they're always happy. They're always like, that was such a good podcast. It wasn't like the average podcast where, I would have to like this guy's going to ask me the same questions like every podcaster does. Like you ask really good questions and you make it personal where people can get to know the talent for who they are and not just a character.
That's been an aim of mine from the beginning. If somebody wants to do more of the air quotes kayfabe of it, that's fine. I can prepare my notes for that. But getting to know the talent and getting to make each episode like it's just yeah, I had a beer with me today, but like just two buddies at a bar talking wrestling over some beers. That's what I've wanted from the beginning.
And you've done a great job of giving that vibe
That
to it.
means a lot. That definitely means a lot. Well, that, like I said, that is about all I have for this time. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me tonight. Absolute pleasure. And again, you're welcome back anytime.
I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much for having me on.
Button again.